So in English language arts, we're going to be revisiting poetry. And we had started talking about this before we were doing our distance learning. So I just wanted to do a little bit of review of things that we've already talked about just to refresh your memory before we get into it. So what is poetry? Poetry is a type of literature written in verse, and it often has rhyme or rhythm. What is the purpose of poetry? We talked about how poetry is a creative way of expressing strong feelings and emotion. A poet wants his reader to feel something, whether that's excitement, whether that's humor, whether that's sorrow. It doesn't matter what the emotion is, but they really want you to walk away with a strong feeling of some sort. So poems are organized into lines and stanzas. Lines are single stretches of words or phrases, and the lines are grouped together into stanzas. So we don't really separate poetry by sentences and paragraphs. Instead, we use the terminology lines and stanzas. So let's look at a poem. It's called Time. Tick-tock, the sound of a clock, loud and clear, he is always near. A form of binder, a constant reminder of an ever-moving flow, regardless of any woe. Tick-tock, hurry up and knock, for time never waits, he merely dictates. How precious is time, to waste is a crime, a powerful tool, to misuse is to be a fool, for time wasted can never be regained. And our poet is Tasha Lim. So there's some things I want to point out in this poem. The lines would be each separate line. Tick-tock is line 1. The sound of a clock is line 2. Loud and clear is line 3. You'll remember in class we would count the number of lines. Now the lines are grouped together into stanzas, and in between each stanza there is a space. So in this poem we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stanzas. And our first 4 stanzas have 4 lines each, while our last stanza only has 2 lines. You heard a little bit of a sing-songy beat as I was reading it. That would be the rhythm of the poem. And we do have some rhyme as well. We have talk and clock, clear and near, binder reminder, flow and woe, waits and dictates. So this poem is talking about how time is always close to you. And it's talking about how no matter what your problem is, that's what it means, regardless of any woe, time keeps moving. So no matter what's going on in life, time's going to continue to go forward. And then down in the 3rd stanza, it says, hurry up and knock, for time never waits. He merely dictates. Dictates means to tell someone what to do. So when it's saying time never waits, it's giving time the characteristic of a person. Remember we said that's personification. Poetry uses a lot of figurative language. It's very rich in figurative language. It's a great way of expressing emotion and feeling. So see if real quick you could pause the video and maybe jot down on a piece of paper or just think through your head, what is the different figurative languages we learned that you remember? And then when you're ready, unpause the video. We've talked about metaphor, simile, idioms, onomatopoeia, personification, alliteration, and hyperbole. If you do not remember what they are, you should have your reader's notebook at home. Go back through it and look and see what are those different types of figurative language as we start to delve more into poetry this coming week and next week as well. All right, guys, have a great day.